Today we're going to be looking at the Columbian Exchange. The Columbian Exchange is one of history's greatest turning points, but when we use the term greatest, we don't always mean for the best. We consider this one of history's greatest turning points because it had a great impact on both the Americas, Europe, Africa, and Asia, but not necessarily good for everyone. The Columbian Exchange was a result of this exploration, and it led to enormous exchange of people. People transferred where they lived, plants, animals, technology, and ideas that would change the lives of people in Asia, Europe, and the Americas and Africa. We might be used to thinking that only Europe and the Americas were affected, but through the trade routes that we have studied in the last unit, when the Europeans come back from the Americas, all the goods, all of the ideas, all of this discovery gets transferred through the trade routes, such as the Trans-Saharan, the Silk Road, and the Indian Ocean trade routes. So what is the Columbian Exchange? The Columbian Exchange is exchanging goods, people, ideas between the Americas and Europe, and it is called the Columbian Exchange because this global interaction began with Columbus's, as they would say, discovery. But as we know, there were people in the Americas before Columbus. So the Columbian Exchange, items from the New World and Old Worlds were exchanged. Now, this is another very European influenced view of history, because they consider the Americas the New World, when in reality it was not new. It has been here just as long as Europe. But in documents, we're going to see the Americas referred to as the New World. So we need to know that when we see the word or see the term New World, we're talking about the Americas. And the Old World, we're talking about Europe, Africa, and Asia. The Old World is where the Europeans already knew about. They were used to those customs. So the Columbian Exchange is this mixing of goods and animals. Some key things that we see come from the New World to Europe were things such as vanilla, corn, tomatoes, potatoes, turkey, and tobacco. Those are some key valuable items that will come to the Old World. Items coming from the Old World to the New World were things such as sugarcane, coffee beans, honeybees played a huge role, but also livestock, horses. There were not horses in the Americas before the Columbian Exchange. And also disease, smallpox, influenza. A lot of these diseases that went through the Silk Road and other trade routes that Europeans, Asians, and Africans were already immune to. Now we're being introduced to the Americas where Native Americans' bodies are not used to it. So it's going to have a huge impact. Here we see an image of the smallpox affecting the Native Americans. We're going to look more at that in the document, and that plays a huge role in the ability for Europeans to conquer the Americas because of these diseases. So items that went to the New World: coffee, sugar, diseases, and horses. Those were actually consequences for the New World. Because coffee and sugar were so valuable, we're going to see the rise of plantations, especially in the Caribbean. Diseases are really going to affect the population of the Native Americans. Horses are actually going to be a benefit for Native Americans. So these three are going to be negatives, and horses are going to be a benefit. To the Old World, or to Europe, we see tomatoes, vanilla, potatoes, tobacco. These are all highly valuable items that will increase the profit and capital of Europe.